Should be ready any second. I'll
We
double check that it's good.
live.
We are live. Anybody want to tell a joke like Marco did last week?
I
No.
told a joke.
He took 5 minutes to tell a joke right before the podcast, and we all. I have a really good edit of it actually. Hopefully, will go up tomorrow. Of us just sitting there and then guessing the ending of the joke and him getting mad.
No, I don't have elaborate stories like that.
I don't know if
I
I'd
wish
call
I
it
had his
elaborate.
brain. Oh, it wasn't. But why would it take 5 minutes then?
It's a long story.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
he was
three-part
really
joke
hamming it
with
up.
the-
It's a 3-part joke.
Yeah.
You have to tell 3 jokes
the
to tell the joke. Yeah.
Punchline ends at the last of the third. That ties it all in to one.
The edit's so perfect because I just kind of like shortened it where it's like he's talking over himself and it's like fading in and out. And then right as he finishes it, you just cut in and you go, "The answer's a brick." And he goes
Huh?
like, and he goes, "Fuck you!" Like,
Yeah.
So good.
Schizo edit.
it is a schizo edit. It's pretty funny. But yeah, we're good here. I should copy this and this, and then share it in the server. Okay, this goes here. Then this goes in here. Okay, and then I'll tweet it and then we're good.
Yeah.
I got so disappointed because I had one person reply to my tweet the other day that we were live, and I was like, they like sent a DM, and I got the little alert on Twitter that was like, "This user is AI generated," and I was like, okay.
Oh.
Oh no.
I
Oh.
was like,
Clankers.
I got hit by a bot. Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunate.
So we can kind of wing the topics today. We got a list. I'll kind of just move through it, but I think we could do. You can talk God of War first, then maybe
Okay.
we'll talk about the Odyssey a little bit too, because that fits.
Yes.
Then I'll probably chuck it to Glenn for Hollow Knight, and we can move to like FF14 and Dench Attack to like end it out for Mark and I and everything.
I like that plan.
I think that works.
I'm actually glad I get to talk to you, Glenn, because that ending has me.
I'm glad
I
too.
have so many questions, dude. Like,
I'm glad too. I think I think I don't know. I feel like we should just kick it off. 'Cause
Yeah,
when
we
I
can just
start
kick it off.
talking, it's
Yep,
just
let's-
gonna go.
They're complimenting your glasses already, by the way,
wait, whoa.
in the YouTube chat. You're getting some
Oh,
love.
shit.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna bring it
Oh.
in. I think we're good to go.
Yeah, please.
Let me fix Glenn's name a little bit and mine. There you go. That can come in a little more, and mine can go like there. Okay, perfect. I'll just bring us in. Everybody ready?
Gang.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to COFY Cast, episode 12. It's a big one today. We are happy to be here. We're joined this week by Miss Mina, Glenn, and Mark.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back indeed. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Should be really fun. And I am going to let Miss Mina bring us in because we're going to talk about
Yes.
God of War up first. You have a full notebook of notes
I do.
and information you've taken on the game and on Norse and Greek mythology. You are ready to rock this week. So I'm just going to let you kick it off and we'll go from there.
Okay. So God of War 2018 cinema.
It's so good.
Like pure cinema. Like it's so good. It's crazy. And I finished it. I guess I should insert spoiler warning here
Yes.
because I
will
will
be spoiling.
be discussing how it ends.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, Mark.
we will be
Um,
spoiling.
Wait, but well, Mark, you're just gonna have to take.
He's going to have to take
The
BL
spoilers,
on this one, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah, my bad. So
Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
okay, so in the end, all right, okay. Mainly though, So so the whole premise of like the game is like actually fairly simple, right? The story
Mhm.
itself is like, okay, um, Faye is dead. Like my wife or my mother, depending on like the perspective of which character,
Yes.
you know, the mother is dead of the family. You actually don't see her like ever. Like she doesn't. You don't get to even see her at all in that game, which is interesting. And then you're supposed to like bring her ashes to like the highest peak of the 9 realms, and then we begin our journey with Kratos and Atreus. When I went through the first like mountain that like we thought was the peak, I mean that's where I meet Mimir, and he tells me that like, oh, this is actually not the highest peak. I remember being so rage baited. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is not the right peak? Like I literally had to fight dragons and shit like to get there. It was actually kind of like there was a bit of work to get there. And I was finally there. And I'm like, this isn't it? I have to go somewhere else?
Yep.
So that was devastating. But that did not stop me. So ultimately I get to Jotunheim, right? So that's where like the actual peak is, and I go there. And so interestingly, so you know how like Kratos' thing is like he was like hiding the fact that he is God from his son. But Faye was doing the same thing.
Yes.
And like Kratos didn't know it. Like that's insane to me. So that makes Atreus like full god, right? And
half kind of.
no?
Yeah. Cuz
Yeah, because the wife is a giant.
she's a giant. So she's
But
She's not a god.
she's not a god, she's a giant. The giants are powerful, but they're not gods.
they're not gods? Wait, but the thing I think at the end said like, oh, she was god too, and he didn't know that. Maybe
I think it's
she's
Atreus
not a
didn't
god.
understand.
Are you sure?
Atreus was asking if she was a god, and Kratos was like, I don't even know. She was a giant. That's all he knows. That will be
And what's
explored more
interesting about
in the next one.
okay, I'm sure the next one will have more answers, because another thing is like, so giants like apparently like not all of them, but some of them can see into the future or something. Like that's like the spec that they come with, like with some of the giants, and Faye was apparently one of them. So Faye could see into the future, and like when you get to Jotunheim, like you see these murals of like basically everything that like we went through, meaning like Faye knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah.
So like
Exactly.
so like did she know that she was gonna die?
It's an
Like
interesting question.
exactly when?
That is an interesting
And, like,
question.
yeah. I don't know. That is my thought.
I don't think anybody has an answer to a question like that.
Okay. But she must have, right? Because she literally predicted everything else, like after her death, meaning like she must have known that she was going to die. And I think it would be very interesting to see her perspective on that in the newest one when they come out. Hopefully that'll explain a little bit more. Another interesting thing, the mural. Okay, they don't like. There's like a part of the mural that's covered with like a fabric draped over it.
Yeah, like
kind of hidden.
a drape.
Yeah. But that's where like it shows like Kratos' death, like in Atreus's like hand. And I was like, that's crazy that they just show that. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be the next game or the next game, but like now I know that's coming. Like that's crazy.
It's quite the cliffhanger at the end of the game.
Yeah. And like,
Well-
and he's Loki? Atreus is Loki.
Just like in Marvel. It's the same, right? Because in Marvel,
Yeah.
he's half giant as well.
Yeah.
So
Loki
it's
is the
same.
adopted son of Odin.
Yes.
Adopted, okay.
Adopted son of Odin in Norse mythology.
Which is what makes Thor and Loki like siblings.
Yeah, like half
step-siblings?
brothers
Yes.
essentially. Quote unquote step siblings, yeah.
But how does Okay, so Atreus is Loki. And Loki apparently is a god of mischief, deception, trickery.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound very like Kratos. You know what I mean? Like it's like
No.
such an opposite from Kratos. So like is that what he's gonna grow into? Like just kind of messing around. Like Marvel's Loki. Like is he gonna be like that? Because then
It's an
I'm like, I
interesting
don't know how I
question.
feel about that.
How will he live up to the myth, right? Like, how will they incorporate his character? Because they're essentially saying, well, what if we take our character that we've invented, Kratos, right? Similarly to what they did with Greek mythology, right? And shove him into this lore. How can we change it? How does injecting a character like Kratos change the traditional story of Norse mythology?
Okay, so it's not entirely based on the traditional mythology. So they're like trying to add in. Okay,
they take creative liberties, but they do stick pretty close. There's a lot that they stick real close to, especially in the Greek games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you froze for a second.
I was going to say they take a lot of liberties changing what they follow in the official Norse mythology and what they don't.
Yeah.
And I think you'll realize that real quick, that just like the Odyssey, and not to shift gears totally, but like you got to take some creative liberties to make a captivating piece of art.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So I think you'll realize that a lot sooner, and these creative liberties have to happen. So
yeah. I mean, it's definitely, but it's because of those. Because I didn't know anything about the source text or like the original stories of like in its pure form. I only knew it through like Marvel or like in these creative interpretations of the actual like lore, which then like I'm starting to notice like there's discrepancies, and I'm like, huh, like in this movie like Zeus was like Omega worshipped, but in the other movie it's kind of like he kind of sounds like an asshole, like what's going on there, which made me curious. So that's what made me curious about like, okay, let me find out what the lore was. So creative liberty is honestly, and discrepancies in creative liberties is what made me curious and learn all this. So
it's great. I personally, I know there's people who, when God of War games come out, always complain, oh, they should have done this way or the other. I think Santa Monica does a really good job with taking Norse mythology and adapting it to Kratos' next journey. I think it's really good. Because they did that in the originals as well, right? Where like you have the Greek stories, and a lot of Greek stories, as you probably saw from reading some Greek mythology, are just kind of nuts. They're very violent, over the top, you know, and just don't make a lot of sense sometimes. Those original God of War games kind of feel that way. They feel like a myth of their own in that realm. And a good amount of Norse mythology is about family, about Odin's lineage and his relationship with his family. So making both of those games focused on a similar thing of fatherhood is very appropriate, I've always thought, and fits nicely into that next mythology, which makes me curious how moving into the future they would handle other things, like with Laufey, right? Like, are her levels going to feel like the myths, or how are they going to do that?
Yeah. So, okay, about her. I have a couple of interesting points.
I want to ask though.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
No, I think I'm a bit delayed actually, but I was just gonna ask, like gameplay wise, who is your favorite boss? Your favorite boss fight?
My least favorite is Baldur.
Okay, we got to expand on that. What do you mean by that? You fight Baldur 3 times. Yeah. Surely every time
you
has
fight him in
each
favorite of the 3 acts of the game. Yeah, he comes back each time.
No, just like, how many times do I have to do this? Like, just
he's invincible.
And it was a lot. It was a lot of him, and I don't know. I just didn't. Every time he showed up, I was like, again, and then
It's funny how you mentioned this earlier, and I think this will go off as a good point of you saying you dislike the Baldur fight. Santa Monica does a great thing in the God of War games where they make the player's emotion match Kratos' emotion. When you're
That's
mad,
true.
you're at the top of the mountain and it's wrong. Kratos is mad, he's at the top of the mountain and it's wrong. When you're like, fuck, I have to fight Baldur again, Kratos is like, fuck, I have to fight Baldur again. It makes it a very immersive experience because they're writing for the character, but they're also writing for you. And that,
I mean, I
not a
definitely
lot
felt
of
that.
people in the industry do that, and it makes the games come off very unique, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But okay, I will say I can't pick like one, but I liked all of the fights after the Blade of Chaos
Ooh, yeah.
got introduced. So like I don't actually get to that weapon until like halfway or like
Yeah.
much later in the game, right? And then like I like have that weapon and then I go to like hell and
Mhm.
fight these like icy, I don't know what they're called, like whatever
Demons,
creatures.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah. That was really fun because it's like it's so much more satisfying to fight with the Blade of Chaos because it reaches so much more.
Mhm.
And it's so much faster. It's so much more efficient in killing these little creatures. Like boss fight is different, but like the Leviathan axe I can only do like one or like maybe 2, 3 max if I wanted to hit multiple enemies. So I just really enjoyed the experience of fighting honestly anything after like I acquired Blades of Chaos. Like that was so much fun. I loved it.
I would agree, actually.
Yeah, they're good crowd
Crowd control.
was
Yeah.
it crowd
CC.
crowd control weapons for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Mina, I'm not letting you off the hook. Your favorite boss fight. I didn't hear the answer for that one. Come on, Mina. You played the whole game. You got that
Hold
one
on. Okay, let me think. It's hard to pick a favorite because I really struggled with all of the boss fights. So like I can't really say that I really liked any
But
of them.
struggling is not a negative.
Yeah,
Okay, I know.
You
I
didn't
know.
struggle. You overcame the challenge of a boss fight.
that's true. You beat it.
I don't think you struggled. I think you experienced the game the way all of us do,
Okay.
through hardships and perseverance.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say in that case, the dragon.
That's a great
Okay.
choice.
I
That's a
for- I
standout
forgot
That is a good
fight in
answer.
that game.
Name. Yeah.
That's like the.
Yes.
But it was really difficult.
I was gonna
Because
say
there's
that's
a new mechanic I learned with like you have to throw this little thing and then the Atreus's arrow has to follow to like make a little explosion and it's like I that took me so many tries. It was really hard, but probably the most rewarding.
oh, definitely.
That's amazing.
I love that
That's
fight.
that's exactly what
I was just gonna say I also really love that fight. Other than I enjoy the final fight against Baldur a lot because he does kind of torment you the whole game. So finally beating his ass at the end is very satisfying. But the dragon
Yeah.
fight is the first time because I said this in a previous podcast, but the original God of War games did a great job with scale, like making you fight things that felt so much larger than
No.
life. The dragon is the
It was
first fight where you
horrifying.
feel that. Like it's massive. It's a
It feels so
huge
tiny.
creature. And you're so small
Yeah.
compared to it, and you have to like chain it down and contain it, or else you can't even fight it. It will just fly around and knock you over and everything. It's nuts. It's the first time you feel that in the game, and then it does it a lot more obviously towards the end, like in the Baldur fight with the giant and everything as well. But that's really the first time 2018 in my eyes, more than like when you fight the troll at the start, you feel that scale of like this thing
Yeah.
is like beyond life, like it's just humongous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huge.
I was gonna add, because I want to know if Mina picked up on it, but on the final fight, Mina,
Yeah.
when you are in the cutscene punching Baldur, did you recognize who you were playing as in that scene?
Well, I punched him multiple times. So which scene are you
No, at the final cutscene against Baldur, what button are you pushing to punch
Oh,
Baldur?
you mean the square, like Atreus?
Yeah,
Or
you're
yeah, yeah,
controlling Atreus in that cutscene.
yeah.
And I thought that was the most beautiful thing the game has ever done.
Oh yeah.
The entire time you're playing as Kratos, kicking Baldur's ass, but at the final time it matters, you're Atreus.
Yes.
You're Atreus growing up and learning when a god needs to be killed, like father, like son, you kill that god. And you make
Mhm.
Atreus do the punching.
And
I
Yeah.
thought that was a beautiful moment in God of War
and
2018.
it's
And he's the one that spares him too. The Baldur at the end, it's like, Father, he's no longer a threat.
yes.
And it's
Yep.
like, cool.
And that's such a good
You're right.
reference too to something. I don't remember if you'd said you'd played the old ones, Glenn, the old God of War games.
Yeah.
But
Hold on.
Mina, for your reference,
I'll be right
at
back.
the end of
Oh.
God of War 3, when you kill
Yeah.
Zeus, that's how Kratos
yeah.
kills Zeus. You spam the X button and he punches him until it crushes his head. So that's a callback to Atreus becoming more like his
Rushes
father
his
by
head?
yeah, that's how God
Yeah.
of War 3 ends. He just punches him until he's nothing, essentially.
God
Yeah.
damn.
And
That's a-
Mina,
it's a
I don't know if
callback,
you've done this so
essentially.
well. Another callback though is at the very beginning against Baldur, when you think you've killed him and you cracked his neck, Kratos says,
back.
"We must be better than this."
Yes,
And
yes,
it's
yes.
the last words of Zeus before he dies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is you must be better than this, and Kratos rephrases that line to Baldur
Yeah.
right
Wait,
when
but-
he thinks he killed him.
But Zeus. Well, wait.
I think, did I lose you there? The last
No.
words of Zeus to Kratos
At the end of 3.
at
As
the end
he's
of 3.
beat up by his son, as
Yes.
he's being killed by his son, he says,
Yes,
"You must be
Yeah.
better than this."
Yeah.
we must be better than this. And then Kratos reuses that line to Baldur before
why?
killing
Like-
Baldur. Because it's showing, like, we have to be better than just killing gods, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then, like, it makes no sense that Zeus is saying that, because I thought Zeus was like also he try to kill Kratos too?
He did.
So, like, what
They're
do you
all
mean
trying
you're
to kill
not
each
gonna be
other.
better?
They're all trying
Like,
to kill each
'Cause
other.
it's like,
Oh, so he feels
it's the-
regretful at the end now. Like,
That's
I
the
shouldn't have
great
tried to kill my
irony
son.
at the end of
Like-
God of War 3 is Kratos has fallen so far that even Zeus is like, this is bad.
yeah,
Like, we shouldn't be doing
Mm.
this. Zeus's
Yeah.
final regret is realizing through their infighting he's about to die, and that will destroy Greece. Everything they worked for
And
is
then-
gone.
Kratos repeats that, understanding, like, I'm the monster I was trying to not be,
Yes,
and I'm gonna break your neck
Mm.
now.
I ran from it, but it's still here.
Yes, it's like
That's
the final
Interest-
desperation to improve is leaving.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a promise to himself. After this, we have to be better,
hmm
and then
So-
cracks his neck.
that makes sense, because I think Kratos sees a lot of himself in Baldur.
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And like, it's so interesting that like throughout like however many times like Kratos meets and fights Baldur,
Yeah.
like Kratos is always trying to like give this guy like a redemption. Like just like he's trying so hard to be like, just don't be like this. When like
Absolutely.
we had so many chances to kill him, and like at some point like, well, like, you know, I mean, Baldur's immortal, so like you can't really kill him, but like snapping his neck like in the first or second time, like thinking like, oh, this will kill him, like mentally. Like we've had so many chances to actually end this guy, but like Kratos keeps trying to like, it's like give the olive branch. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you do better.
Because
But no, this guy was like, I need to kill my mother to the end. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Are you
And-
kidding me?
and that's the same journey Kratos went on. It's so great you point that out because Kratos was the same way,
Okay.
angry and
But
expressing
was Zeus
that.
like, okay, if this gives you peace, kill me? Was he also like that? Like Freya was?
No,
Definitely not.
no,
Okay.
definitely not. Zeus was arrogant. He tried to kill Kratos
Yeah.
until the last second, and then as he's being beaten to death, he's like, "What have I done?" I'm pathetic, kind of. And then
Right.
Kratos is like,
Yeah.
and he like begs for his life, and Kratos is like, I don't give a fuck, and kills him anyway.
Yeah, no. But I was gonna say about what you were saying, Mina, is like he wants to extend that olive branch so bad because when you're getting the Blades of Chaos, he saw the eyes of Athena literally tell him, no
Yes.
matter what, you're
You will
gonna
always
be
be
a
the
monster.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
He's like, you will always be the god slayer of our pantheon. No matter what you do, who you help, you will be our monster. You will be a monster.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm so excited for you to play Ragnarok, because that point gets hammered home so much more harder in that game.
hammered home. Yeah.
I love
Good
that
one.
line he says too, as he picks up the blades, and she's like, "You'll always be a monster," and he's like, "But I'm not your monster anymore." Like
Yep.
that line is beautiful. And then she kind of
Yep.
fades to dust because she's just this memory that haunts him. She's not real, and it's just such a good moment. It's so
And
powerful.
It's a beautiful moment.
Kratos, I didn't realize this because Kratos has like his like forearms like covered with the
The
like,
bandages,
gauze or
yeah.
something the
Oh
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But like he has like that, like the Blades of Chaos, like the chain. I don't know. I guess it burnt onto his skin. Like it has like
Yeah, they
kind of-
burned onto
They
his.
permanently branded on him.
Yeah,
Oh well, like so I didn't actually see that until the very end when I reached the peak, and then he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I have nothing to hide, free."
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
that
It's
cinematic
such a good
moment of
moment.
like, he's like,
That
"I'm
was a
naked."
beautiful moment.
It was beautiful.
I remember when I made that redemption edit on TikTok.
Yeah,
The bandages coming off of Kratos was one of the redemption things I used. You know, it was him freeing himself of the monster he used to be from those weapons, and
yes,
kind of getting his agency back. Is he's no longer their monster. He is
100%.
he's nothing but a man that just wants to protect his son, and he's gonna do it
Mm.
by any means necessary.
It's so powerful.
It is.
And it's so funny how he goes from willing to do anything to enact violence, right? Because that is the meme, honestly, the meme where he's like Zeus and he's putting his arms up. In the original game, that's when he gets them branded onto his arms, right? As he extends his arms to the heaven, and he's like, "Give me the ability to exact my revenge," and the chains come down and burn onto his arms, and he gets the blades, right? Him then, doing the same pose on the mountain is like the sunlight is cresting the clouds. And instead, the bandages are
I would not have known that.
coming
Yeah.
off.
No,
So instead of coming on this time, the bandages come off, and he's letting go. Right?
Yo.
I did recognize that parallel as well.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is a beautifully crafted character. And yeah, like I said in person, like the people that are playing God of War 2018, that's the same people that played the first three as like teens.
Yeah.
The same guys that were so angry, it would break shit at the flick of a button, are now the same people that just want to have a prospering future for their children. Like there was that big of a gap from 3 to God of War 2018.
Oh yeah,
that
definitely.
people were waiting for this.
Wow.
And so I think it's a beautiful, beautiful way to revitalize a character that used to be nothing but a violent, weak-headed buffoon. Now is a calm, stoic, strong gentleman that he is.
No, this game is like art, like truly. And knowing like
definitely.
what came before this game is like the way I felt about like Expedition 33. Like that's just like a product of like people's passion. Like this is how it's like a similar feeling. Like
yeah,
I agree. I can see you cooking something up. You have the finger up, so I'm
sorry. Yes. Because I was looking at notes and I was like, so Kratos, obviously, God of War. Like he is the God of War. At
it's
least,
okay.
like
I think
Oh.
it's important to chime in. It's called God of War because in the first game, Kratos kills the God of War.
And
I don't
he
think
becomes,
Kratos
he takes over.
is the God
no?
of War.
Oh,
He does.
I thought when he killed.
When he kills
Ares, he becomes the God of War. But then when he destroys, they give him that title. And then in the second one, the second one is him like deciding he wants to kill the rest of the gods because he's still angry.
See.
And then
okay, my apologies.
No, you're good. But
No
then it takes on a new meaning in the Norse
It
part,
does.
right? Because it's not just that he's the god of war because he killed Ares. Now it's like his presence in the Norse realm starts a war, essentially, right? Like, you are bringing this to our shores. You know, it will follow you.
You know, so that's what you think happens like in 28. So it's another thing, right? So this whole time I thought like, okay, I pissed off all the gods. Now they're after me, like Kratos. This whole time, like, I thought Kratos was the reason, like, oh, they want me for like revenge or whatever. Like, I pissed them off. Now they're looking for me. No, at the end, then I find out that it was actually Faye that they're after. So that's where I'm confused about. Why would they be looking for a giant? Like, what? Why would they be so interested in that? Because that's a comment that he makes at the end, and I'm like, wait, I don't get it. Why would they be looking for Faye?
It has to.
Like,
I'm trying to remember what they say in the game that I can talk about this before you play the next one. They reference it in the end of Kratos' speech where he talks about Ragnarok a little bit, I think, with Atreus when they're looking at the paintings. Do you know the significance of Ragnarok in Norse mythology?
Hold on. I have notes.
She's got the notes. She's ready.
I wrote that down somewhere because I know.
I also want to chime in.
Yes.
It's not about the Ragnarok experience, but Odin hunts giants to near extinction.
Yes, that's.
Yeah. Okay.
Good pull,
his
Glenn.
purpose.
Good
so
pull.
when he finds out Faye is like a giant, it's just another hunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
But go on. What is the book? Yeah, go on.
No. Lore. Okay. You probably know this, but what I was like researching. Okay, so like Norse mythology. Like when we use the word mythology, it sounds like it's not a religion, but like I found out the context of like before Christianity, that was their religion. So it was literally like they were praying, worshiping. It's like religion to them.
Yeah,
so in every religion, there's always some kind of explanation of like how did these gods make humans and Earth? Like, how did the world start, right?
Yeah.
So I looked into that. Like, what was their explanation for the creation of the world? Like, and it's the way they explain it is interesting. And like, Glenn, what you mentioned about like Odin's thing being like literally slaying and like all of the frost giant to extinction. Like, that was his thing. So why he does that is interesting. Do you know why he's so set on like killing giants?
Because in the story of Ragnarok, it's giants that come to kill him. Like the prophecy, like the panel says that giants and Loki will bring the destruction of Asgard.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, I didn't come across that, but I think you're probably right because okay, what I read is like the creation of the world. Basically, how it comes about is like mixing. You know how like even in God of War this is referenced, but like the Niflheim, whatever, the ice world,
Nibelheim. Yeah.
and then there's like a fire world. Like they mix, so like the fire and ice, like the river flows into like they like get merged, and then there's like the middle world where like they collide, and the middle world is like where like creatures like life starts spawning apparently.
Yeah.
And that's where like the first like evil giant Ymir is born, and that evil giant Ymir, with Ymir, not Mimir,
Yeah.
gave birth from his armpits to a bunch of children, and these kids have their own children, and they are the frost giants. So this one evil giant just spawns a bunch of like entire race of like frost giants.
Yeah.
In this middle realm where like the ice and fire meets, like that's where like life just starts happening. And apparently the first like version of life is like giants, obviously. And
I love this.
Then there's another. So like right now there's only like a world with giants. Like that's the only life form that exists at this point. And then there's another life that spawns. And I don't know what they would be considered, but there's like, as the ice melts, like a frozen body of Buri is discovered, and I don't know if Buri is a giant or not. I have no idea. I don't know what this creature is, but it's a life form of some sort. And he fucks Bestla, which apparently I think that one is the wife is the giant or one of the frost giant. And then these two spawns Odin, Vili, and Ve. 3 siblings. And that's how Odin came about. And then Odin just grows up and just decides, okay, there's too much chaos, too much like chaos brought on by giants in this world, so I'm just gonna kill everyone. All of the giants.
Yeah.
So he goes on to slay actually first just the Ymir, like the OG like evil giant, the patient zero that spawned all of the rest of the giants. He goes on to kill Ymir, and when he kills Ymir, he uses, because Ymir is the big giant, like huge. He uses the carcass of that Ymir, the giant body, to create the world.
Ooh, I never
So
knew that.
basically, their idea is to like that they created the world, Earth, life as we know it, from carcasses of a giant. Like, isn't that insane?
Oh yeah.
Just like
That
they
will
were saying like, oh, the teeth of the dead giant became the rocks that we see on Earth, and like the brain is the clouds that we see today, and like all that body parts just like is assigned these elements of Earth. It's so interesting. But there's only 2 survivors. So they think they killed all of like the frost giants, right? No, there were actually 2 survivors, but they don't know it. So the 2 survivors escape to go on and rebuild the race somewhere else. And my theory is I think Faye comes in here somehow. I think
see what
she
you're
is
saying.
either one of the 2 that, or descendants of the 2 maybe, would be my theory, that rebuilt the entire frost giant race. So maybe that will be explored, ? And maybe that's why Odin is so interested in like, holy fuck, they escaped? Like, I thought I killed them all. There were more of them, and now he's like, fuck, like,
No,
I
that
need
is
to go back and like finish what I started. Like, I think maybe that's why.
You're getting there, I think. I
Yeah.
obviously won't comment on direct details, but I know what Glenn was getting at with the hunting of the giants as well, the way God of War directly pulls from that myth, is like, because you talk about it, right? Like the frost giants are there. They're in the myth of Ragnarok, right? So he's like, oh, well, I'll just kill them all. And then that will fix it, right? So you're talking about the thing of, right, like they spawned from this, the earth happened, and then some of them lived. And which would spawn on Odin's like, well, that's not good. They have to be gone because Ragnarok says I lose. Because Ragnarok's English translation would be like apocalypse. Or like the Christian equivalent would be like the end of the world. Yeah, exactly.
The rapture.
Rapture, end of everything. You know, that's what that means.
So Norse mythology just has all the elements of Christianity, which is why it makes sense that it was a religion. Like all the basic frameworks is just like there of a religion.
I think all religions have some kind of basic framework that follow that, though. It's like they need a god to believe in.
Oh yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, but when I hear the word like mythology, I wouldn't think of like religion. It's more like stories of these supposed gods that they thought, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I understand exactly what you mean.
Associate that as like,
because that's how we view it now.
Worship.
But at the time, it wasn't viewed that way.
But I honestly think like Christianity like is just nothing but stories.
Yes, but like, is there like
Adam and Eve,
like Christian
Cain and Abel?
mythologies? Like,
there is technically, yes.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Mythology is the way you look at it, right?
Is it referred to as mythologies? Isn't that just
depends
like
on
the Bible?
Depends on how you view the stories, right? You know,
it's how you define a mythology. Is like if just like mythical stories. Like I always forget the name, but Reshak, Meshach, and Abednego or whatever.
Yeah.
All that story being thrown
into a furnace.
That's pretty fantasy-like, a story. You know, that's obviously not how it's gonna happen, but that is nothing but a mythical story to me as well. Like, yeah.
Well, I didn't, in my brain, the word mythology and religion are categorized differently. So
Yeah.
that's why it was interesting for me to find out that, so it's like this is like religion that people
Yeah.
actually like went to altar and prayed like they do with Christianity. Like,
Oh yeah, like
to me it was a revelation.
we
is
look
all
at
I'm trying to say.
it's similar to like the Odyssey, right? Where it's like we look at that as just a myth. But back then, like they used to make sacrifices to those gods. They believed those things, you know. Not to get into Odyssey talk
Crazy.
yet, but you know, talking
Odyssey
about
was also such an interesting experience too. I loved it.
you had the mythology gauntlet. You really did.
That's true.
And that's why, dude, I was so this is what I do at my place of employment. Just so you all know.
Allegedly, for the record.
Allegedly, this is a joke. I am not employed, so that's a joke. Okay, so like I like, can I talk about Zeus? Let's move on to Greek.
We can move to Greek and then talk about the Odyssey as well. If you feel done with
Yeah.
God of War.
I was gonna
He must
ask,
ask probably-
you know,
yeah.
who's your favorite character?
That's a good way to capstone this. Yeah.
Dude, Kratos.
Yeah.
It's Kratos. I'm sorry. Actually, well,
So what
it's
scene
Kratos.
made you realize it was Kratos?
There's no singular scene. It was more like it's the progression of it. Like he starts out very cold and distant and again, I don't know how he was in like the earlier games, so I have nothing else to go off on. Like that's my first impression. Like we're starting off on like kind of a bad foot. Like you're such a dick to your son. Like I don't know if we're gonna get along. But
Yeah.
we do. He kind of like, you know, starts being vulnerable, shows, you know, part of his past that he's not proud of or wants to share with his son. Eventually he does share, and then he becomes more like, I don't know, he like at a certain point, okay, if there's one scene, I think it's when what's his name, when Magni and Modi, you fight them, right? And I think I only kill Magni in the first fight. Modi comes back and like finds me in Tyr's temple, or before like entrance of the Tyr's temple, whatever. And then like he beats Kratos up like so bad to the point where Atreus is just like, no, like don't kill my father, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Atreus is still just like a kid, so he can't really do anything. But that's when like his Spartan rage just somehow kicks in for whatever reason. Like that's when he experiences that for the first time, and he's like, and then he can't handle it, so he just passes out. It's like,
yeah.
I was so confused. He just like, I saw this young kid just yell and pass out, and I was like, I am dying here. Like, help your father. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I was so annoyed. And then, obviously, Modi's still alive trying to kill me. But then, like, once Kratos sees that his son is, like, passed out or whatever, incapacitated, his priority becomes saving his son than, like, killing Modi.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. It's like, I feel like maybe that was the shift when, like, oh,
he's different than you were expecting. Yeah, exactly.
So he is your priority now, and you're making that really clear to me right now. So you're okay. You might be an okay father.
Cinema.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I think you said you only kill Magni?
In the first time, yeah. Or I think Magni and Modi, right?
It's brothers, Magni and Modi, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You kill one of them first and then fight the other one later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Atreus kills Modi. I think I might have glitched out when you said that, but
No, you did. You came through.
oh, okay. Atreus kills Modi in the game.
Okay, when does Modi die exactly? Because I'm trying to remember when that happens, and it's like, is it when? No, because Atreus passes out though, so like it must be after I like get the heart of the giant to cure his disease, and then
I can't remember in the timeline. But Atreus kills one of them before they have the conversation, or is it before or after Kratos tells him he's a god? That's what I can't remember. No, because
it's like Atreus kills Modi, right? And I'm pretty sure that's when they have the conversation, like, there's consequences to killing a god.
Yes.
And Kratos is like, how do you know?
Okay,
How do
Okay.
you know? And it's like they spill all the beans.
Now I know.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about before. So Modi finds me. There's a scene where
Yes.
like Modi pulls up and try to beat me, and then like Atreus
Right.
ends up like, I don't know, activating Spartan rage and just passes out. Like, and then I don't
Exactly.
know
Yeah.
wherever Modi goes, wherever he goes. But like, and
Yeah.
then I meet him again later after Atreus is
Right.
cured. But like before that, it's like the second time that I meet him, is when like Kratos is like, I gotta save my son. Like that's my
Yeah.
priority right now, rather than like trying to go after this like enemy, like
Okay.
killing, violence versus saving his son. Like
Yes.
he
Right.
clearly is like, I gotta save my son. So
Right.
that's when I was
Okay.
like starting to be like, okay, maybe you're different. I don't know.
I see. Yeah, I totally get that. I probably was having technical difficulties, but I definitely wanted to make sure you understood that Modi is dead, because that's very important before you start
No,
Ragnarok.
I know.
Okay, good.
And
They're
like
both
it
dead.
is true. Like Atreus starts acting up. He's like, "Oh, I'm a god. I can do anything now." And then
He
he's
takes
like,
the
Yeah.
wrong lesson.
being a little bitch and like starts, doing whatever. And I think it's part of that character arc that he kills Modi, who's already beat up by his father on the brink of his
Well,
death. Like,
It's important to know too, and I think this is a good point to capstone it too, because you talked about Atreus' attitude before it's a good pivot into the Odyssey we can talk about and some Greek mythology stuff.
Yeah.
But talking about the earlier games, right? Kratos in God of War 2 is that kind of god. Like, he is ruthless when he's the God of War, and he's very much feared. You know, there's multiple scenes he runs into like worshippers who ask him for things, and he brushes them off or just kills them. You know, so he has this fear. Kratos yearns to be treated like the other gods, to be this thing of worship, but they just fear him because he's so vengeful. And that's very important for the plot, because it's important going forward into Ragnarok, I think, to understand that. But also it's important for his relationship with Atreus, where he sees Atreus doing the same thing he is. Like a father watching a son make the same mistake they did, right? And like grabs him and is like, no, do not do this. I did this. Don't do it. He tries to break the chain, right? Because he sees Atreus becoming like him.
Yeah. But he doesn't at the end. So, go, Mark.
No. Before we moved on to Greek and Odyssey, I wanted to make just a quick note on Norse mythology. Oh, wait, did you turn? Oh, okay.
I need to pee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Godspeed, soldier.
Because, while you guys are talking about Norse mythology, right? And we don't have to get into 14 too much, but 14's new expansion
Yes, is going to be about
featuring Norse mythology. And then I forgot, because it's been a while since I remember Norse mythology. But Mina's comments about frost giants. And I'm like, wait a minute. The next expansion will take place in a reflection of the source that is overcome by frost.
Yes, exactly.
We see a lot of giants. So I'm just wondering if maybe you had some, because you probably recall more of the mythology than I do.
No, yeah.
What you might expect in Evercold. And then one more point with Ragnarok. Do you remember what Ragnarok is in 14?
Oh, it's a Ooh, this is tough. It's
an Endwalker.
Isn't
There's
it
something called the Ragnarok?
Isn't it? Is it a weapon?
It's a ship.
It's the ship. Yes, and there's a lot of ships in the new expansion, like airships, essentially,
Right.
which I think is a reference. I also want to add, and I'm going to talk about 14 here because I think this is really great. 14's doing a 7 expansion, and for the uninitiated, FF7 is pulls a ton from Norse mythology. I mean, the city you're in at the start is Midgar.
Yeah.
The place where the fire meets the ice is Cloud's hometown that gets burnt down by Sephiroth at the foot of the ice mountain, Nibelheim, the Nibelheim incident, where Sephiroth loses his mind and burns Cloud's hometown to the ground. It pulls a lot of FF7 is Nomura going, what if I took like Christian mythology and Norse mythology and I just shoved that shit together and gave them big anime swords? And that's kind of how that game goes down.
Wait, I didn't know. I mean, now that you mention it, I guess 7 also does have a lot of
7 has a ton
references,
because it also has references to other Celtic mythologies other than like Norse. Like Ketchi is an Irish Celtic mythology reference, like God of Fortune, and you meet him at the Gold Saucer when he joins your party, right?
So that's really interesting that they're doing. I mean,
it feels very intentional.
The practical reason is that I think it makes sense because of the
release
third
schedule. Yeah.
installment coming out. But I didn't even think about the Norse connection that because then usually what they do when they even with these collabs, they try to tie in the story a bit. It's not like they just slap it on. It's like,
Yeah.
here's Cloud Strife. I think it'll be very interesting how they tie in the two, and if I'll be very surprised if they didn't lean into that the Norse connections there.
Yes. No, I agree. I think something we'll definitely see in Evercold, because they show it in the trailers. That's a good Norse connection. When they showed off Bastion, the new class for 14, that airship is clearly fighting a giant. Like, they haven't said that's what that is. It's very much so a giant, and it definitely feels like the world is frozen, so they live on airships. They can't go down, and the giants now walk the earth, essentially, right? That's definitely what they're going for. So I think we could get a you versus the giants kind of thing going on. And they could pull some stuff from Ragnarok, and which I won't comment on the myth of Ragnarok because it could spoil the game for Mina, because the game, I will be honest, God of War Ragnarok does kind of follow it pretty close. But I do think they could do similar stuff in 14, and they've set it up via the trailers and the way they do it. Because they are kind of doing a similar thing to God of War, where they're taking your Warrior of Light and making them the self-insert into this Norse-inspired world. It's even being told like a myth in the trailer, right? And that's only going to be more emphasized since they're pulling from... and it feels so appropriate because I just thought about this now, but not just pulling from FF7, because FF7 takes from Norse mythology, but also they're doing an Ava collab, which also Ava is a very apocalyptic story.
Right. I don't know how they're going to connect that one. I think that's even more of a stretch.
I just think it's interesting that they're going to do a Ragnarok thing. FF7 does a very similar Ragnarok thing, and Ava definitely goes for an apocalyptic without spoiling Evangelion. Shit goes crazy right at the end of that series, which is why it's so infamous. It's kind of funny they're kind of doing a big time collab with all of that.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where that goes then.
But yeah, I think I would definitely like to see you fight the giants, obviously. I think that's where they're going with it. They've clearly set that up very well. But speaking of giants, doing an A1 transition here, there's a specific giant in the Odyssey, the Cyclops, who you could say, Mina wants to do the pivot, is the son of a god. And also, the Odyssey in general was very good. We've all seen it.
Yes. So now that we're moving on to Greek mythology, I am so excited to share this information. So I wanted to find out more about Zeus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what kind of a man was he actually? Instead of the interpretation of him
in the Odyssey,
I was like, okay, what did he do? Actually. So very, very interesting. I can see the chain reactions of childhood traumas going on here. So Zeus's father. Do you know anything about Zeus's father?
Yeah,
Kronos.
Yes,
Kronos.
Titan Kronos.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of person he was?
Bad.
Yeah.
God of time.
Yes.
Bad. Very evil.
Yeah.
No, not tried. He did. He did eat his kids. And okay, so Kronos was okay, so I got this vision that one of my sons is gonna overthrow me, and I don't know which one, so I'm just gonna eat all of them. And
Mina, you fight Kronos in God of War 3.
You do. You fight Kronos in the third one.
You fight Kronos in God of War 3.
3 is not the one I played, the one before.
No.
No, not the one.
Okay.
You played 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
she
you
looks so confused. It's
She's like, oh my god.
She's like, when did I fight him? No, the Greek pantheon, you fight him.
That makes sense because it's Greek, yeah, and the one I'm playing is more Norse.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry,
also,
I was bringing it back to video
good.
games. But
I was gonna say also fought in
No.
Hades. Hades 2.
Yeah, you fight him in Hades 2?
Yeah, he's the main antagonist of Hades 2.
What? I had no idea. That's awesome.
I'll talk about that after Mina finishes her Zeus rant, because it's a fun connection.
Yeah, go on, Mina.
Let me finish Zeus lore.
Yeah.
So Zeus is the youngest of 5 siblings.
Yes.
And supposedly his father Kronos ate all of his sons. But Zeus is the only one that actually doesn't get eaten. And because the reason for that is because the wife or the mother was trying to like save this kid by instead of like so when she was asked to, you know, like give up the son so like the Kronos could eat it, she just wrapped like a rock in a blanket and said like, "Oh, here you go, this is your baby." And Kronos just didn't check, I guess, and he just swallowed like a rock thinking that was like Zeus. So that's how Zeus gets to grow up to be like a man eventually, like living outside of not being inside his father.
Yeah.
And when he grows up, he gets strong enough and he like confronts his dad and like he forces the dad to like throw up all the siblings.
Yes.
And the siblings return. Like I don't know how they were surviving inside him.
Yeah, that's why I
And
meant
then
by trying to eat his kids.
and
Like
then
they don't die.
They kill him, yeah.
They do. But like, dude, that's crazy to me. Like you were just like inside him and you just get vomited out one day. It's like, oh, time to like live now, I guess.
Yeah.
Outside world.
And that is
like,
Kronos eating his children is referenced in the Odyssey.
What?
Because there's a very so okay, this is going to be a long pivot here, but you'll find this interesting. Greek mythology, a lot of it was adapted into Roman mythology when the Romans took over, but they changed the names to make it feel more like their own. And those names are now the planets of our solar system. So Mars, Saturn, all of those things.
Whoa.
And so Kronos was Saturn. So the famous painting of Saturn devouring his son, that crazy-ass painting of the dude eating another guy, is Kronos eating his children, essentially.
Right.
And that is referenced in the Odyssey when the Cyclops eats one of his men. It's the same pose when he bites the guy. Nolan references that as like essentially like a connection moment for mythology and everything.
Oh, that's so okay. So since Cyclops,
Mm-hmm.
Cyclops, also interesting because I was also confused about like, okay, what is it? What is he? Like, what's his relation to this?
He's just a little guy.
God franchise. You don't look like a god. Like, what are you? Like, okay.
He was Prometheus. The guy in the Odyssey was Prometheus. Or Polyphemus, sorry.
Polyphemus, yeah.
Yeah, Polyphemus.
Huh?
Also in Hades.
Is that what you're...
No.
The Cyclops in Odyssey.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about Odyssey, but... Okay.
His name in the Odyssey is Polyphemus.
Oh, okay.
That's the Cyclops.
What other Cyclops are you thinking of?
No, it's the same Cyclops. I didn't know he had a name. Excuse me.
Oh.
Pronouns, libtards, but it's okay, so what I know about Cyclops and why it's important is after Zeus gets like his dad to like throw up the siblings and now all the siblings are reunited, they obviously are mad at the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because he ate them. So now the kids lead a 10-year war against the Titans, which the Kronos was a Titan, apparently, which I guess is just another word for giants. Like, it's just all the same things now at this point. Just big people. And
it's a bit different,
they win.
I think.
It's a bit different, but
Are they not?
So the giants...
Giants have, like, human anatomy, right?
Okay.
Titans are more so like like in the movie Hercules, right? They're like the big water guy, lava guy, earth guy, air guy. They don't follow like human anatomy.
The Titans
typically have.
The Titans in Norse mythology represent like these beings, these giants, whereas the Titans in Greek mythology usually represent unfathomable things like nature or elements, right? So Kronos is time.
Okay.
Which is this unstoppable thing, right? No one escapes time. Gaia is a Titan. She represents Earth, right?
Yeah.
Like these things that will never die. Fire, wind, water. Yeah. Almost greater than the gods. Elements, essentially, right? And they say that those are the families of the gods. Like the gods came from these primordial things.
Yeah.
Dude, that makes so much sense because in Horizon, Zero Dawn, the Earth person, the system is called Gaia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Gaia is the Titan Kratos rides in God of War 3.
Yeah, she's in God of War 3 as well.
Yeah. against the
Well,
fight with Poseidon.
I keep saying also in Hades, but it's because it's Greek mythology.
It's all
it's
Hades.
all together.
It's all Hades.
It's
okay.
all connected.
Well, I will finish my lore dump about Cyclops very soon, because what I found out about Cyclops, apparently that bitch can make weapons. Like, he looked pretty incompetent from what I saw in like Odyssey. It's like he could barely like move. He just like goes out, eat, comes home, sleep. Like, he did not look capable enough to make anything of himself, but apparently in the lore, he is the weapon maker. He makes the weapons for Zeus and his siblings, which are, so he makes Thunderbolt for Zeus, Trident for Poseidon, and Helm of Invisibility for Hades. So those weapons are the reason why they were able to win against the Father, or like the Titans. Which is why like these siblings feels like they owe it to Cyclops, like the victory.
For like revenge.
So yes, I didn't read anything about like Cyclops actually being related to any of these gods, so like I don't know, maybe he is. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean that it's out of possibility. I'm just saying, like, from the lore I could find, it's like these siblings, including Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, like they all kind of feel like, oh, like it's because of Cyclops. Like they feel like they owe it to Cyclops for their victory. And
because I was gonna say, like, the Cyclops we see in the Odyssey is like, it's an incompetent Cyclops.
I think it's
because
are
I
there
know
multiple Cyclops?
Oh yeah,
because Brontes is the
of
one that makes the Thunderbolts.
Hold on,
The Cyclops Brontes.
Cyclops is like a race,
BRONT.
like a giant.
Yeah, it's like
like a
It's like a
race.
race.
Yeah.
So for example, Mina, you remember Brock and Sindri from God of War?
Yes.
It's like
yes.
the dwarfs were the weapon makers.
I see.
Just imagine in Greek mythology, the Cyclops are the weapon makers.
Yes.
The one we see in Odyssey is just not one of those weapon makers.
He's just a farmer.
Understood.
And he's related to Poseidon somehow.
Yeah, he's
I don't
related to
remember.
Poseidon.
Because he calls out
Polyphemus.
the only understandable word he says in the film, the Odyssey, when he's screaming when they stab him in the eye. He's speaking like giant or whatever, so it's like unfathomable what he's saying. The only word you can actually hear in like English is Poseidon. He's calling to his father to take vengeance on these people that blinded him, right?
Right.
Which is what happens, because the second they hit the water, they're like, fuck, we're lost.
Right.
Poseidon fucked Cyclops?
Something to make the Cyclops. I don't know what, I'll be honest, but the Cyclops is the spawn of the gods having sex with certain beings. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, it's not even the top 10 freakiest shit the Greek gods have done.
No, they do really weird shit. They do really weird shit. Sitting in English class, they're talking about some shit like this. Like, can you believe Zeus had sex with this person as a bird? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's just like crazy
and,
stuff.
Like, now that we're getting into it, like, to be honest, the Cyclops is probably the worst represented thing in the movie. In the book, Polyphemus literally runs to other Cyclopses
Yeah,
to
he's
tell them
intelligent.
who
He talks
wounded
to
his
them.
eye. Yeah.
Okay, see, if I saw multiple Cyclops in that movie, that would have helped a lot for my
they
Well,
speed
it's
that
just
shit
like
up.
they didn't make it.
Yeah, the one you saw in the movie, they're like not the same one you're looking at, like thinking of. Like the three that made the weapons, like they're the same race, but the one we saw in the movie is like more like not like it was just a farmer, you know, and not making weapons.
He made cheese.
See, it wouldn't have worked in this movie, Nolan's Odyssey, but the Cyclops scene in the book was one of my favorites, because there was like a wordplay going around with it, right? With the Odysseus telling, yeah, exactly that. Oh, my name is nobody, you know. And then when they poke his eye out, the Cyclops yells to the other that, oh, nobody has poked my eye out, and then the other Cyclops are like, okay.
Yes,
so
exactly.
There was like a lot of funny wordplay with it. Now, obviously, if they kept in the movie, you're not getting the darker horror scene that Nolan intended, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why they probably skipped over that. Although what I liked about it is it also showed, Odysseus's cleverness, which I don't think they really emphasized on in this movie, because
Not at all.
he as a
He only has a
character
few moments
was
where he's really clever.
exactly, and even with the Trojan horse scene, which is one of his most well-known tricks, they didn't really sort of highlight that, oh, Odysseus came up with it. Like, they said it, but it wasn't really highlighted.
Mhm.
And the tone of the movie was more about atonement and the
Yeah.
regret or guilt that Odysseus was dealing with. But in the book, he was just doing like all these sorts of like getting out every situation he got into in the movie. In the book, it was him cleverly thinking a way out of it and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think another good moment when he's really clever in the movie that stands out is when he tricks Cersei to try and let her flip everybody back, which is honestly one of the scariest, is probably the scariest scene in the movie, when she's morphing their faces and shit. It's pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. That was the scene where I was like, wow. There was a guy in my theater who in front of me who did this for that whole scene. Like, he put his hands on his head, like he just couldn't believe what he was watching.
Mark sent me a reel of interviews with Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland about that scene, and how they were saying they didn't use CG,
None.
that
It was
was
all
actually
practical.
it was clay,
Yeah, they had her
Yeah.
sculpting clay in order to make it look
that's
real.
crazy to me.
Incredible filmmaking. It just wow.
Truly.
Yeah.
Cinema even.
No, cinema. But okay, my lore dump about the mythology is done. That's all I took notes on. I will continue my studies in the coming weeks. But that's all I have
Ragnarok.
for now. Yes.
But no, I heard an interesting critique from somebody I work with today. It was the beginning was kind of jumpy. You know,
Yes.
we see them before the Trojan horse is finished. Then we see him on the island with Calypso, I think her name is.
Calypso.
Yeah.
Calypso.
And then we see him hunting in the forest before he leaves for the war. And I was kind of thinking looking back at it, that was kind of annoying. I didn't really like how they did that.
Yeah,
I think
I think we're gonna say
I
the
was
same
gonna
thing.
say, yeah, because if you didn't read the book, I can see why that was very disorienting. Whereas if you read the book, you can immediately tell, okay, you know where they're showing the scenes from, and you're like, okay, they're jumping back and forth.
Because Nolan
Really?
commented on that, and he said the reason he did it is he wanted the audience, if they were uninitiated, to feel like Odysseus does, which is that he doesn't understand. He's lost his memory, and he is piecing things back together, right? That's why you open with him on the island instead of the other way around, right? He wants the audience to feel like they are gaining the memories back with him. And then, of course, once he regains all the memories, you're into that third act when he's back, and he needs to reclaim his house, when he's back in Ithaca. That's why he said he did it. Whether that's a good choice or not, that's up to your opinion.
Yeah,
Nolan loves
I
to do
think
confusing shit like that. If you've ever seen Memento,
Right.
it's very similar, of a person who lost their memory trying to learn it. Yeah.
Because that's a good point. Also, because I didn't think about it, Glenn, until you mentioned it just now. But it was particularly disorienting in the first part of the movie. They were jumping back and forth a lot, and then they slowed it down where, then they would show a portion of the Odyssey, and then it would jump back to him on the island, and it's sort of like, well, then what happened next, right? And then it would jump to the next part, and then not till the end, after he leaves the island, the movie continues linearly the whole last scene when he's back in back home. So I think it could have been confusing, but I think just as you were confused, you sort of picked up the pieces as the movie progressed, and you're like, okay, I know where we're at now, and you're following along, even though he's still jumping back and forth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That is good.
The memes I saw about Calypso looking business casual, just doing nothing on that island was so hilarious to me, because she kind of does look business casual. It's like, what do you mean? Why are you why you look like that?
Yeah, she's just kind of chilling.
She's
It
a
is very
witch.
funny.
No, but she just looks like a witch in The Office. Like, it's very corporate for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very, like, business casual
Like
compared
her,
to, like, the other casts.
oh, like her just having like the just kind of normal clothes and the net looking
Outfit. Yeah.
thing on her.
Yeah.
Whereas the others are wearing like armor and stuff, and it's more
Yes.
elaborate. I mean, hey, she's living on a beach essentially.
I guess.
No, I mean,
So is Lotus supposed to be like Fent equivalent? Like a
it makes you forget things. Yeah, it's like a drug that makes you forget things. It's referenced also in Percy Jackson when they go. If you've ever seen
but that's
that,
like just like I haven't, but like that's just like a mythical like.
yeah, it's a
like
Greek
legend,
mythology
right?
thing.
It's not like
yeah.
I can't go out and eat.
No, if you
lotus
eat
and,
a
like,
lotus
lose my
flower in
mind.
real life, you're just gonna be like, blech. I'm
Okay.
eating a flower.
Okay, good to know.
You're
I
not
just
gonna
wanna
bite
make
a
sure
lotus
that's
flower and be
right.
like, oh my gosh, all my
Yeah.
trauma's gone. I remember nothing. Who are you? You know, it's not. That's not gonna happen.
Which
Cool.
it was interesting to learn in the book that's the first stop they go to. Right? He loses like 500 something men to the lotus flower at the very beginning,
Yeah,
according to the book.
What?
Which
yeah,
was
it's a
very
much longer
surprising.
scene.
Wait, so is it like an addicting like you could die? Like it's Fent. It's Fent.
Essentially, it's like a drug. Yeah.
And because like they don't die from it.
No,
Oh.
It just like keeps
it's
you
a
there.
drug. It's a drug. Yeah, it keeps them there.
Oh,
It's,
when you say lost, you mean like they were just like hanging out there?
yeah,
they're potheads.
Oh, okay.
You know,
they enjoy it so much they don't
Yeah.
want to leave,
exactly.
and they consume so much of it they can't even understand. Right. That's why when Odysseus in the book versus the movie starts to kind of realize he shouldn't be taking it so much, he starts to get his memory back, and he's like, "How long have I been here?" And she's like, "Well, you've been here 8 years," and he's like, "What?" You know?
Yeah. And in the book, there's like an island full of the lotuses, and that's where they stop first.
Yeah, they stop there first.
Odysseus already loses like a portion of his men from that alone, because he strictly like can't get them to like remember that they need to go home, and so he's like, "All right, see ya,
Yeah.
peace." So that was interesting. I mean,
No, I agree.
he ends up with Calypso at the end again, but it was
Yes,
interesting
yeah.
to know that in the book, like that's their first hurdle, and then they go to Polyphemus, and then his hubris shows his ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn them to hell.
Literally. Some of them.
Pretty much.
Also, that
I
sequence.
loved how they handled Hades in
Yes,
the movie, though.
so sick.
I thought that was such a fun scene, seeing everybody, and some people have their gripes that they wanted it to be more like a place to enter rather than another beach setting. But like them coming out of the ground was already cool enough.
And that's also
like,
done
That
practically.
was real sick. Oh yeah, I
They
knew
gave
right
the
away.
extras
that
like
dude
little
knows what he's doing.
snorkels and buried them. And they like knew they had enough air for a set amount of time, so they'd hit action and tell them to stand up. So they really rose out of the ground like that to do that shot, which is why it looks so good in the movie. And it's so imposing when they walk up and they drink the blood out of the shield. I liked his interpretation of trying to make the underworld feel unfathomable. He does that a lot in the movie with the gods, whereas like in Greek mythology, similar to like God of War, right? The gods are kind of just there. They're like, they look like people, you know? Whereas Nolan wanted them to be these like unstoppable forces, essentially, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Whenever there's an encounter with the gods, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Kind of like if you did run into a deity in real life, you wouldn't be able to understand it, right? Because as a human, you only know what you know, right? Our own environment. If you met a being from beyond our dimensional understanding, right, it would be hard to understand it. And that's kind of what he does with the movie, right? Especially with the Hades scene, where it like doesn't make sense. Like, where'd the dude come from? Would they just rise out of the ashes, right? They drink blood, and then you can see their face when they drink the blood. But other than that, they look like these like grotesque shades that he almost can't understand, that go on for like forever, you know? And of course, obviously, the shot everyone makes fun of Agamemnon had to have the fit in hell. You know, he died naked, but he brought the fit to hell because he was like, I can't live forever without the fit.
It wouldn't have hit the same if he showed up butt naked.
Yeah,
It was like, yo, Odysseus, be careful when you go back home. I don't.
If I die like he did and I don't get the threads with me in the underworld, bro,
Bro.
I'm definitely calling somebody.
I'm imagining them like dragging him down, and he's like grabbing the clothes, like, no, please, I have to have this.
Yeah, no, that shit's mine. I earned that one. Nah, dude, it was cool as fuck. That outfit.
Yeah,
I need to have that shit too, bro.
We said
No
that
lie.
in person last night. I'm sorry if I cut you off here, Mark. I didn't mean to, but I I do think it's really funny that like so many people complained like, oh, that's not a comic accurate armament or comic accurate, Jesus, actually historically accurate armament for a Greek king. And I'm like, but have you considered it's sick as fuck? It's really cool. Like that goes a lot further.
What they actually wore, it looks stupid.
It looks really dumb. If you look up like the real armor, it looks terrible. Zero aura. It's like yellow and white and red. It looks crazy.
Goofy. They all look like clowns.
They do. They look like clowns in armor.
I was gonna make a point because you were talking about how Nolan depicted the gods, and none of them showed up except Athena. And even then, you can argue like, was that really Athena, right?
Yeah.
And even if it was just Odysseus imagining or talking to Athena, but she wasn't there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I know this was one of the ones that was like pretty loud, but the scene after they leave Helios' island after eating the meat that they weren't supposed to, and then immediately Zeus and Poseidon are pissed off, and you don't need to show Zeus or Poseidon. You could feel
that they're there,
the wrath of the gods, angry. Like both of them.
That scene is so jarring.
And the lightning. I thought like, yeah, I wouldn't have tried to depict them any other way. I think that was done perfectly.
Oh yeah,
like you didn't need to see the gods. You could tell
to know that they're there.
Yeah.
The 10 flashbangs that hit the screen from the edit is clear enough that Zeus is present. That, in my opinion, that was the loudest scene in the movie. I remember like taking my fingers and like kind of covering my ears because it was so loud in my theater opening weekend. They clearly have fixed the mix, and it's not as bad for some people, but like half of my theater was going like this. I like looked around because I thought like, am I the only person with like weak ears? And like half of my theater was like, what the fuck is happening? Like it's so bright, it's so loud. I felt like I was being attacked. I was like, Zeus is mad at me.
Right.
He's mad at me in the seat. It's just
I think
good.
they definitely did probably tone it down because I remember everyone talking about how loud it was, and it was loud, but I feel like I think it was toned down a bit.
Sorry, I was messaging Glenn. Yeah,
I was gonna say
he's frozen for a sec.
He pissed off the gods.
He pissed off the gods. Zeus is mad at Glenn, so he's gonna live as a figure on the screen for a sec till he bounces back in. He's on his odyssey right now to get the PC to listen to him. So,
it's gonna take 20 years.
Ironically, very, very appropriate. But a good pivot I think we could do now really quickly is I'll say real quick because I said I would mention it. But fun fact, Odysseus is also in Hades too. That's the most recent time I'd seen him other than the movie.
Oh,
he's the guy who helps you navigate the maps and stuff and like unlock the new areas, which is fun.
No. Get someone else to help me do that.
That's the joke. That's what I was gonna say. It's so funny they chose him to be like the navigator.
Anyone but him.
Yes. He's got like all the maps and stuff and you're like, no. Please, not you.
I got this. Just give those over to me. I don't.
No, yeah.
We can take it from here.
But it's also really funny because I'll mention too for fun because we talked about Kronos, right? God of time. So obviously Hades won. You play as the son of Hades, Zagreus. And you're a rebellious teenager who wants to leave the underworld. I don't want to live at home anymore, which is Hades, right? So you try to leave. That's the plot, right? The second one, you're playing as his sister trying to get revenge because Kronos has come back and wants to enact vengeance on his children that killed him. You know what I'm saying? He's back from the dead because they cut him up, right? Also, what's really cool, I love Kronos' design in Hades too because he, like, mythologies came at different times in history, right? So, like, there's mythologies that are older than others, right? These religions that were around. A big one and the most famous one historically that came before Greek mythology was Egyptian mythology. So when you see Kronos, he looks Egyptian as a choice to be like he is older than the other gods. And also he has these giant scars across his whole body from where they cut him up, which is a nice detail too. Go ahead, Mina. I can see you want to...
Cool.
No, because I was thinking, like, wait, does that make Zeus, like, mixed?
You know, it's funny now that you say that. I hadn't considered that, but he does look a little different than the other characters in Hades. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that until right now.
He's like the Wasians of the god.
Loki, yeah, he gives that energy.
Loki.
Now that I think about, that's interesting. I had not considered that till right now. I should go back and play more Hades too.
Yeah. Think more about it. You know.
But they do such a good job with the characters in Hades. My favorite use of Kronos. Okay, this is a mild spoiler, but in Hades you fight the final boss over and over. That's like kind of the point. It's a roguelike game, right? Like any other roguelike, you reach that and do it over and over again. I forget if I think they patched it out because people got mad about it, which I'm very disappointed to see. But in the original patch of Hades 2, if you got to Kronos' boss fight and you paused the game, like you get to the boss fight and you're like, oh my god, I need to collect myself, right? I've made it this far. Let me pause and think for a second. If you pause, you get special dialogue where Kronos says, oh, no, I rule over time, not you. And he will unpause the game. You can't pause during his boss fight. He'll unpause it. He'll be like, no.
That's messed up.
I remember he did that to me and killed me in like 3 moves because I wasn't ready for it.
In the rage
and I was so angry. I was like, what the fuck was that? And that's probably why they took it away.
Mina, I've told Mina this before, because when it comes to like horror games, and maybe there is a game that's done it, but I always feel like there should be like a horror game should have a boss that does that, or it's like you pause.
Yeah.
Or it's like, you know, you're like exploring and you pause and you think you're safe because the game is paused. But that's when like the monster or whatever's chasing you gets you and like kills you.
That happens a lot in those kind of games. It's kind of fucked up. But I was going to say, this is a good chance, especially since Glenn won't comment on this directly. He can jump back in whenever. But we could talk about Final Fantasy a little bit coming to Switch and also our experience at Otakon when we went.
Yeah. Mark, I saw you open Pal World. I see you're locked in on this podcast.
I also saw that alert and I wasn't going to say anything.
It's because I saw the message someone asking to open it. So
I
just did that. Yeah.
We know exactly who that is who wants to grind on the
Otakon.
server.
Otakon was a lot of fun, and it was Final Fantasy 14 was like a big sponsor of it this time. And then I think for the
first time, no? Like,
well, as a sponsor, because I was gonna say last year they did have some of the voice actors come, but that's like a normal thing in cons, like voice actors.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not like voice actors they only do one game, right? But some of the well-known ones from 14 came last year, and then this year the localization director and one of the community managers came to Otakon to give a couple panels, more than one, which I was surprised by.
Yeah.
And we caught both of them, and was really interesting to listen to that, and just almost like a little mini fan fest. It felt like.
Yeah, because it was the same 2 people we saw at the fan fest.
Yep.
Michael Koji Fox, which I thought it was interesting that he explained why Koji is in his name.
Yes.
It was just because his father was just like, just vibes. Like,
yeah.
I fuck with the name.
I thought he like gave himself that, or like he was part Japanese or like something like that. But no, it was just like as random as that, and I kind of loved it.
It's the best lore in a way, right? We got to see him. Also, Foxclown was there. Toshio, or I forget if it's Toshiro or Toshio. I forget how he says his name, but Foxclown. He was there as well, helping out Koji, which was really fun. We had the chance to meet both of them. I'll pull up a picture in a minute here to show.
Yeah, we touched them.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. But yes, we had the chance to meet them. I'm not sure how this will work without Glenn because I had the screen share set up for him to be here, but we can give it a try real quick. Let me see if it looks bad. I'll just do it again in a minute. Okay, yeah, it looks chopped up. It makes Mark look sideways. It splits Mark
That's
in
okay.
half.
That's all right.
But
just cut me. Oh wait, okay, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No, you saw it like 1 second later. Oh, wait a second, it's fine. But we got to meet them. I got to have the chance to have my Final Fantasy album signed, which was really cool. I had a vinyl that I'd bought in that day, and I had them sign it, which was really cool. They were so nice and friendly.
Which you should explain how you came in possession of that, because that was not planned.
Oh yeah, no, I should tell that story because it is really good actually. So our main plan was to only go really on Saturday for Otakon. We were gonna maybe go on Friday just to go because we had weekend passes, and like look around and maybe buy some stuff. And I remember just a few hours before we were gonna go on Friday, I saw they had a Square Enix concert, which for some reason I just didn't know they were doing that. shows me I should really read like the catalog not a day before the con. But I sent it in the group chat with you guys, and I was like, oh, we should try and go to this. Then I found out they had sold tickets for it, and it was like a huge attendance thing. So I was like, oh, fuck. Like, we're in a rough spot. So I was like, we'll try and get there. They said like to show up around 5 to line up, and it was like doors open at 6, concert was at 7. Not a planned bit, I swear. And we go to line up, and the lady's like, oh, the line is capped upstairs. They like wouldn't even let us line up. They were like, no, you can't line up. Like, line is capped. You have to come back later, and we're going to do another line after we let people in. So we were like, oh, okay, whatever. We went, we walked around for a minute, wasted some time. We come back. They let us line up. How long would you say we waited? Maybe an hour in that line?
At least over an hour, yeah.
We waited for a long time in that line, which was also when we talked a little bit about the Odyssey and everything as well. And it was a long wait in that line. We were very much packed in like sardines standing there. We had a guy doing yoga and push-ups in front of us who was incredibly annoying, I would like to add. I know Mina wants to make a comment. I say...
No, like, ugh, there's no way he's going to be watching this. But bro is like a performative male at its peak.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he wanted us to know he was flexible for a man, which is not flexible to me in my eyes. So I was like, you're really choosing the wrong audience. Like,
yeah,
I'm kind of like, I would say intermediate to advanced in yoga. And you're trying to mug me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He didn't know.
That's
he didn't know you
funny.
knew ball like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
also, it was just...
And then he started playing, he was playing some kind of like mobile game. I'm trying to like remember.
He was playing some sort of gacha game. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But he would like...
Contrast was crazy.
It was just like the most... it was so annoying. There's no other way to say it, right? Like, he would just do crunches and push-ups and squats and yoga, and he's doing it barefoot on the carpet of Otakon, which is crazy, by the way. That's like insane behavior.
Yeah.
So
because the first time I saw it, I thought it's like, okay, yeah, we've been standing for a while. He's just stretching a bit, but then he did it again like 4 or 5 more times, and I'm like, what? What are you doing?
In the beginning, he wasn't doing a whole ass yoga. It was just the crunches, which I was like, all right, like that's a little more understandable.
Welcome back.
But no, it turned into full like whole like sun salutation like routine.
Yeah. You're moving everything around while Glenn gets ready. Yeah, it was so annoying. He was so frustrating. But we persevered because we wanted to see the Square Enix concert. So, make a long story short, the line got so big, they had to start denying people lining up. So they were like, we have reached the limit of people we are going to let into the con. It's not going to happen. We're done. So we were like, oh man, we've made it. We're good. We're completely okay. It's all going to be fine. They start lining people in. It takes a good 40 minutes for them to fill this auditorium. It's huge, right? We got to 20 people before. There's 20 people ahead of us, if that. And they go, we're capped. Denying you entry. And I was like, fuck. And they let us like wait around for a bit because they were like, oh, if people start to leave, we can send you in. And so we were like, oh, okay.
That was copium.
It was copium.
Who would
so
leave?
Like we waited for like 20, 30 minutes. And then finally we were like, nah, whatever. Who cares? I don't care at all, right? And so we left. We went to a personal favorite bar of mine in the city that was fairly close. I will not dox it so that we don't get exposed. I won't do that. I don't need us to blow up one day and then people start camping my favorite spots. So I'm gonna get proactive on that and not let that happen. But so we went to a favorite bar. We had a really good time. I'll say we had to keep it on Twitch TOS. We had a handful of beverages, perhaps more than any of us usually would. I'll say this was an Irish establishment, so all drinks were poured strong, as Mina found out immediately after ordering one of the strongest drinks on the menu.
That was one of the strongest drinks on the menu? Why didn't
had
you
like
say something?
2 shots in it,
what the
at least.
Fuck?
And it's like this big of a drink.
Yeah, okay, I really didn't know it was gonna come like that. It scared me.
Everything in that bar will come fairly strong.
It's horrifying.
So we had drinks, we hung out, we had food, and finally we were like, whatever, let's go back. And an important detail, As we left the line after we got denied, we passed the Square Enix merch table where they were selling vinyls for their games. And one of them was the 30th anniversary triple vinyl for Final Fantasy. 35th year of the franchise or whatever, right? It was this beautiful giant triple LP, and it was $100. And I was like, I'm not spending $100 on that vinyl. No way, right? Fast forward. The panel we wanted to hit that night, which was with the FF translators and devs who were giving a discussion on the game and everything, Koji and Toshiro. It was in the same place the concert was held. They held it in the same hall. So we had to walk back to exactly where we were to get into the next panel. So we're walking back.
They were doing something. No, but it was like they were doing like an earlier panel, and we sat. Isn't that where we saw like the kaiju?
No, that was the next day.
Yeah,
that was the next day.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. But we were walking back. So we went up the escalators back to where we were just lined up, and we're walking in. And we walked past the merch table again. And this time, I'd had a few beverages, and that $100 wasn't looking so bad anymore. It was starting to look like I really
Willis,
wanted that vinyl.
You sat down, and I was like,
I
might go get that, actually.
I sat down.
I was like,
So we got seats.
Go do that.
We were earlier this time so that we wouldn't get denied. And we sat down, and I was like, man, that vinyl did look cool because they were packing up. They were packing up the merch stand, and I actually saw them putting them away this time instead of just like a table that tells you the prices, you know? And I saw that elaborate Yoshitaka Amano art that was across it, like the giant art piece. Like if you hung the vinyl, you could see this art. I was like, that's crazy. So I sit down and I go, maybe I will. I haven't bought anything at the con at this point. Usually I'm very weak at a con. I'll buy a bunch of stuff. But I hadn't purchased anything. And I sit down and I just go, maybe I will. And Mina immediately was like, you should do it. You should go buy that vinyl. You should do this right now. You were like the demon in my ear. Like, you were like, do it.
No, I know. And like Mark was like, Mina, like, why would you not like help him fight? And I'm like, well, as a good friend, I should encourage this.
So her encouragement succeeded. And I was like, why not? I love Final Fantasy. It ended up being one of the few things I bought at the con. Went and bought the vinyl. Sit down, no intention of doing much with it other than just taking it home. I like the art. It's pretty, right? Sit through the panel. It was amazing. I think it was really good. I don't know if you guys had specific stuff other than I know you mentioned the Koji thing. You wanted to bring up fun, but he brought up some fun stuff about translation, like
the Ben Starr.
The Ben Starr clip. He had a personal clip from Ben Starr who made comment to Otakon and made some jokes about Koji, which was very funny. Koji made reference to the fact that he was proud to have helped cast Ben Starr as Clive in 16 so that he could take on a better role in Expedition 33 and surpass anything they did together, which was very funny. He also made that comment, I forget the Japanese word he used, but he talked about translation, like the word for joy and pleasure is like the same thing.
Oh, the Santa.
So he was like
Santa brought pleasure to the children.
Yeah, he was like, you have to translate it as Santa brought joy to the children because Santa cannot bring pleasure to the children. And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. But so it was super interesting to hear him talk about that. But as they ended the panel, they stood up and they said, hey, this is not planned because we know we have signings for the next 2 days, but we're going to go stand outside the auditorium and you guys can just come and meet us if you want to. We're going to stay all night until we've met everybody who wants to see us.
That was so nice
So
of them.
they went and lined up and we were like, and here I am feeling the power of fate as I look down at my vinyl and I'm like, oh my God, this was meant to be. They can sign this. Because they said over the thing, they'll only sign official Square Enix merchandise. It's part of their contract, apparently. Yeah. They can't sign anything that's not official. They'll get in trouble. So I was like, I'm holding official Square Enix merchandise right now. So I look at Mark and Mina, I'm like, we're lining up, right? And Mina's like, absolutely.
Yeah, I like ran to secure like.
You did. You ran ahead of us to secure a spot in line.
I did. Yeah, you
like
guys weren't locked in enough. No, y'all lacked conviction. I had to be like, no, I have to be that person. So I did. And then, like, I think everyone else, for context, like the badge for Otakon was like all like FF art, official art.
I wish I had it.
So everyone had like their badges signed.
Yeah, because it was the only thing they had.
Yeah, because that was considered like official art. So everyone was getting that signed, and I would say we were kind of like in the we were in like the beginning of the line. Although I don't know how long that line went, but it
It
felt
went
like
pretty
we
far
were
around the corner.
Okay, so I feel like we were like in the earlier, like pretty close to the
Like the front
first
fourth of the line, definitely.
Yeah. And I think you might have been the first one to like actually present like official merch and like they
Yeah, I
made a
think I was
funny
the only
comment.
person that had official Square Enix merchandise up until that point. That wasn't a badge.
Yeah.
Because we very nicely of both of you, by the way. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Marc and Mina here because they didn't have to do this, but they told us you could either get a photo with them or you could get something signed. They didn't have enough time to do both, and so I was like, well, I really want my vinyl signed. As much as I'd love to get a picture, that's fine. And then Mina, you suggested the way we do it is if I went up first, had them sign the vinyl, you guys would come up behind me and go, we're all together, can we just do a group picture so that we could get both? And then you were like, we can pose with the vinyl, and then everybody gets pictures with the signed vinyl and with both of them. We can get both and make it happen. And that was very nice of you guys because you could have gotten a signature or something if you wanted it, and you chose to not, so that I could do it. So thank you. I do greatly appreciate that. But I will take this moment as you guys, if you want to comment more on it, to pull up the screen share, and I'll show our picture with them and the signed vinyl.
Yeah, no comment. I mean, I don't know what I would have done with the autograph, to be honest. I think
it would have just been the badges. So yeah.
But yeah, here's
we
us.
Didn't need anything autographed.
Here's us with both of the devs, with Koji and with Foxconn, which was really fun. They were so kind. They were super nice. It was nice to talk to them for a second. And then this is the picture of the signed Final Fantasy Anniversary vinyl, which was super cool. I remember Mina you made a comment that I seemed like a child on Christmas when I got that signed. I was very happy.
That's awesome. Bro, that looks cool as fuck.
Dude, I'll have to send you more pictures of the vinyl because it has detailed art like that. Like for all three vinyls,
opens up,
if you fold it, it makes like a giant. It's
like
gorgeous, man. It's so sick. Actually, they made. Yes. I felt really bad because they said it kind of loud, but they had a little table. They had this small. Mina laughed when this happened. They had this small little table, and you'd bring something up, and they'd sign it, right? So everybody would walk up and just take their badge off, and then talk to them, and they'd sign the badge, right? They must have signed 100 badges even before they got to us, and more probably behind us, right? I walk up, and some people, we made the comment about the dude doing yoga in front of us in line for the concert thing. We'll say some people at Otakon maybe don't have the best social skills. So it was really obvious. Yeah, we're talking to you, audience member. But no, it was clear they were heavily handling the social situations, and like people were being a little awkward, or maybe it wasn't going well, right? So I walked up and I was very polite. I was just like, "Would you please sign this vinyl in these like blank spots? I'd really appreciate it." And I remember Koji took my vinyl and he points to Toshiro and just goes, "Oh my god, we can actually sign something good." And I was like, damn.
Hey, fuck these badges, bro. I'm tired.
I thought that was so they like took a little longer to sign it and like talk to me for a minute. They're like, "Do you like his art?" I was like, "Oh, I love Amano's art, and you know the music in the games is so important," as you guys said in your panel. And they're like, absolutely. And then of course, we all took a picture together, which was really nice. And then they spoke to us a little bit. They talked to you guys about FanFest for a second, which was so nice of them. And then we shook their hands and everything. And Mina, I know you thanked them in Japanese, which they were surprised by, which was cool.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Bro, in a line full of pawns, y'all showed up as kings and queens, bro. I bet they loved that shit.
Well, it paid off because
I bet it did.
Literally, because the next day we went to line up for their next panel, and they had like handlers with them, right? To make sure people weren't being weird. So they had handlers with them. And so when we went to go to the panel the next day, Mina referenced this earlier. We lined up, we met up. You guys went shopping earlier, and I was late. And I went to the Deadlock cosplay meetup to take some pictures with other Deadlock people, which was really awesome. I'll have to share some photos on social media of that. But we go to line up because we showed up super early because we were like, oh man, we got fucked over yesterday. We don't want to screw up again. We show up, and outside the panel room, they're doing another panel inside where they're going to do the FF panel. And as we're walking up, one of the handlers, I think, recognized us from last night because she said, "Were you guys at the thing last night? You're here for the FF thing today." were you lined up last night? We were like, yeah, we lined up last night for the concert as well, and we're here for the one today. And she was like, okay, well, if you're here, they're not doing the FF panel right now. They were showing, I don't know if either of you remember the name. Do you know the name of the anime series they were showing?
It was like the kaiju girl.
It was,
something.
we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it was when we went in. It ended up being an anime series about like a girl who, if she kisses a guy and gets nervous, she turns into Godzilla. It was fucking
Wow.
insane. Like,
No, it was kind of fun.
it was fun.
kinda
It actually
to
was
watch.
pretty good. It was pretty funny. But
Fair
we
enough.
walked in
I'll
not
take your
knowing
word for
that, so it was like we were like, "Is this a romance?" And then like she turned into Godzilla, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, that's weird.
But she told us, one of the handlers told us, she was like, "Well, you know, we're not going to do a room clear for this panel, so if you go and just sit through this one, we won't make you leave your seats, and you can guarantee you get a spot for the FF panel this time." And so we were like, bet. And we just went in and like watched this random anime series. And then they had
Yeah.
I felt so bad because they had an interview with the director and artist. And they were like, wow, we didn't expect such a turnout.
There's like so many people here,
There's
and it's
so
just
many
everyone
people.
else waiting for the next panel.
And I was like, I don't know how to break it to him that nobody is here for the movie.
That's so fucked up.
But everyone was very polite, which was also nice. They clapped and cheered for
Well,
him and
that's good.
everything. So that was
Well,
really
yeah.
good.
And
It was-
like you should talk about in the actual panel with the FF, like after they did like cold ones with
Yeah,
like weird flavors of
Snowballs.
shaved ice. Yeah,
Snowballs,
or
like DC
snow-
style snowballs. Yeah, they had them
and they,
answer.
like,
Go ahead. Yeah. You tell it. You have the best telling of this.
no, I don't. No, now the pressure is on.
No, go off.
Mark.
Mark.
Okay, well, somebody's got to tell it, bro, because it ain't me.
Tank swap.
But I don't know what I don't know which part you're talking about.
She's
Like,
they had a
Okay, I was gonna say the Taco Bell part of like the
Oh,
Baja
yeah,
Blast.
yeah. They had them try different flavors of snow cones that progressively got weirder. And like the first one was like simple. It was like cherry, right? But the final one was
Yeah.
like Old Bay flavor. And they would be like, this is nasty, like what the fuck? And they'd be asking them these like aggressive questions about Final Fantasy. And the questions started like more tame. Like, oh, what's your favorite expansion? And then when they're asking them the weird stuff, like Hot One style, right? They were like, do you think there should be a butt slider in the game to make your character's ass bigger?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And the one dev guy was like, it's not a question of if, it's a matter of when.
Oh,
They
shit.
said
The
that
room
at the-
erupted when he said that too. It was hilarious.
I bet, dude. Damn.
That was a question addressed at FanFest. Like the one of the people at FanFest like yelled out, "Butt slider!" And like, is it Yoshi P, the main
Yoshi
guy?
P, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "All right, guys, you freaks."
He was like, chill
I'll
the
give you
fuck out.
No, he was like, "I'll give you what you want." You've been
Yes, yeah.
asking for it."
Do they have a butt slider?
Allegedly, it's
No.
gonna get added, maybe.
yeah,
No
they
one really knows
currently
yet.
don't, and it's a big. See, it's hard to tell.
That's what
If
we
this
call
is like a
pandering,
meme-
gentlemen.
Yes, yes, big time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean
But
to
yeah.
cut you off, Mark. What?
Oh no. I was just going to continue off where Mina was going with this story, and then in the middle there was one flavor that both
Oh,
Koji Fox and Foxconn were trying. They're like, oh, it's kind of clear. And they were like smelling it and tasting it. It's like, oh, it tastes like what is it, toilet cleaner?
yeah, they hated it.
And then one of the handlers was like, that was Baja Blast.
Mm.
And they posted, I don't know if you saw it,
Mm.
Koji posted a video on social media because he was like, oh, whoops, when he said that, because like people were filming and like he was like, oh, Baja Blast tastes terrible, right? He posted a video later at Otakon of him drinking a Baja Blast and he was like, oh my god, refreshing.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It was so
'Cause
funny.
Yeah.
Pandering never ends.
They've done a collab with Mountain Dew before.
Yeah,
it's
so
he
let's
was
not
like,
damage
yeah,
that
see.
relationship.
Yeah, bro. The stakeholders got a hold of that.
They're like, you
info.
better drink a Baja Blast on camera.
You got to
right
drink
now.
that shit right now.
But yeah, that was a really great time. Loved Otakon. We saw a lot of other cool stuff. Went shopping and everything. I was able to complete my Final Fantasy collection, so I have all the games on physical now, which is really awesome. Mark and Mina can add to this. It took me all day to find copies
Oh,
of
yeah.
Final Fantasy 13. Like literally hours. Every store in
We were
Otakon I went
going
to.
through every stall, and it's like, do you
I went
have
through
this?
every bin of every game store at that con, and it was the last one I checked. All the way in the back had it.
There was one
Mm.
earlier that you asked
That guy was an
shopkeeper, like,
asshole.
do you have this?
I'm gonna say
And
it
he's
right
like,
now.
Yeah, we have it.
he was a dick because your friend, I forget his name. He was so nice.
Lucas.
Lucas, yeah, who was
yeah.
walking around with us. He was helping me search, which was very nice of him, right? So we go up to the shop. And we're like, "Oh, do you have FF13?" We got to the point it was so hard to find it that we would just ask the shop, and if they said no, we'd walk away, right? And so we walk up and we're like, "Do you have FF13?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And Lucas just goes, "Oh, where is it?" And he goes, "With the games." And we were like, "Okay, bro. Like, yeah, whatever, right?"
Oh, okay, yeah, that kind of guy.
So we search through all the games. It's not there. And we're like, "What the fuck?" So I went back up to the guy. I was like, "Hey, we couldn't find it." And he goes, "Oh, I forgot. It's the PSA 10 sealed copy. It's like $200 if you want it." And I was like, "Brother, I'm dumpster diving for like secondhand copies. Fuck off. I want something that's like $8, if that, So I stormed off like angry. I was like, dick, So it ended up being, a complete journey. And then I finally found, because FF13 is split into 3 parts for the uninitiated. It's FF13, FF13-2, and then FF13 Lightning Returns. It's notoriously hard to find that game because people hate it. It's widely considered the worst Final Fantasy game. I don't know if I'd agree with that. I haven't played all of them, so I can't comment. I haven't played 13. But a lot of people hate 13. So even though I found it, Mark was laughing when he saw this. I could not find it all for the same console. So I have FF13
That's
for the
fucked
Xbox 360, FF13 Part 2 for the PS3, and then Lightning Returns for the Xbox 360.
Oh no.
So it's split up, but I have it. I've completed it.
That's true.
So I'm very happy about that. That took literally forever. But it was nice to finally succeed and have that all work out. And y'all were very patient waiting for me, so thank you.
No, like I think you all were patient for me because I went just rogue. I went Liz, like just like whoop.
Buying
Went on my
every
own
little
little
thing that you can. Yeah.
And I had a great time.
You got a really great t-shirt as well, I will say.
Meow Chemical
Romance. And it had
It's
a
being
cat
washed right
with
now.
the black
I
parade.
know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear it. But it's in the Mark's background. You can see the art that he bought.
Yes.
But that's also new.
From Otakon. Adding to the background for the podcast. I got some art as well. Maybe at some point I'll be able to get it in the background too. Of Kingdom Hearts and Akira, which was really cool. I think that covers most of what we did at Otakon. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything else, but
Was Kratos Miku.
we saw Kratos,
Yeah,
Hatsune,
so
Miku.
what's your favorite cosplays you saw?
Ooh.
Kratos Miku.
Yeah. So Kratos, Miku's, Mina's.
What would you say,
Okay.
Mark?
Kratos Miku.
You'd also say Kratos,
Okay.
Miku?
Let me think about it.
That's fine. I'll go next. There was one I saw that they didn't see when I was separate of them when I got there first on Friday. And it was a Tenna from Deltarune who had a TV, but it actually was animated on his head. And it would play like the voice lines like, "It's TV time." Like he would hit a button and it would do the whole thing. Like tons of people were taking pictures of that guy. So that was pretty cool. I'd probably say that. He clearly put a lot of effort
That's
into
impressive.
that. There was a really good
That
Hell
sounds
Diver.
impressive.
Like 1-to-1 looking Hell Diver that was really impressive as well.
That's pretty cool.
It's funny because it's like there used to be a lot more when the game came out and it was more popular, and now it's like 1 or 2. It's like the remaining Helldivers.
That is pretty funny, yeah. The remaining
Which
Helldivers.
I'm not saying the game is dead, but obviously it's not going to be the same from.
Yeah,
like
no,
it
it's definitely
was,
not as
and,
popular as it
It
was.
was funny. I don't know. I think for me, I saw some cool like Monster Hunter, like the Hunter, John Monster Hunter.
I revised my answer. It was the Christian.
Oh god.
We did see Christian.
saw-
He was
we
wearing
saw
the
Christian.
shirt and he had the
The
medallion.
medallion.
And the
I was like,
jeans.
holy shit.
It was really good. I did see.
That is
Actually, there
crazy,
were probably,
bro.
like, at least 2, right? Because
Mhm.
the one you saw, Mina, I don't think was the same one I saw outside.
2 Christians?
I
At
definitely
least-
saw one when I was on my own, so there was at least 3.
At least, unless if that was the same.
Brothers.
One,
It's
that one
just a
was,
chance it was.
Yeah.
But we fuck. There were so many good ones. I think recency bias definitely affects the cosplay count. I think the ones I saw the most was I saw a lot of Bleach cosplays, and I saw a lot of Deltarune. And both of those had releases recently. Like Bleach's new season just started airing, and Deltarune obviously had Chapter 5 like 3 weeks ago. So I think that definitely affected the cosplays we saw. But Man, there were so
Ooh.
many Deltarune cosplays.
Yeah, there was because we were talking about it a bit. It's not the most complicated cosplay, but I did see one of Paprika.
Oh, that was really good. Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah. It's not like very elaborate, but it was like so well done and very accurate. And I think she was with a friend that was cosplaying someone from, if I'm not wrong, I think it's from Perfect Blue. So they were doing like a Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, because I saw them in the
cosplays.
distance. You called it out while we were walking, and I
Oh,
turned
okay,
and kind
yeah.
of saw him walking away. That was pretty sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Mark made comment that we were seeing a lot of Tenna cosplays from Deltarune, and as those words left his mouth, 3 of them walked past us. Right hands to the gods.
That is funny.
3 of them. And I just looked at Mark, like almost like an office stare at the camera moment, like, damn, he was right. There are a lot of Tennas.
Yeah. Another story I remember sharing to you guys is Karina and I were walking around the area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We saw a Tenna cosplay, and we met up with you guys and was like, oh my god, I just saw like a Tenna cosplay.
Yeah.
And then you all reacted like, oh yeah, we saw like 9. And I'm
Dude.
like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I felt bad that I shot you down, but we genuinely saw maybe 20 Tennas. Like, it was...
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was an astonishing amount. There was a lot of Deltarune. I saw a few Floweries, a lot of Chris's and Susie's, a few Ralsies.
Deltarune is in fashion, man. Not
Dude,
every
it
day
is.
they get new content.
Dude, every Nintendo Direct is them, like, starving. Begging for content.
Poor sons of bitches, bro. Especially
Actually.
this close to the end.
Yeah,
Like,
2 more
2
chapters.
more?
Unless
Damn,
Toby
dude.
surprises them with a secret one or something like some people
he could.
think.
Speaking of close to the end, Glenn, I didn't want to leave us without you talking about your Hollow Knight experience.
Yeah. Good pivot, Mark. Thank you.
That was a good pivot, but man, that's bringing me so much pain and so much agony.
You can get through it quick, and then I'll end off on Dench Attack because I finished it.
I can go through it quick. Listen, I think hands down, I was thinking about it all day. I think the Pantheon of Hollowness is the hardest hurdle I've ever had in a video game ever.
That's quite the thing to say.
It has never taken this long to accomplish such a feat of victory.
Mm.
You know, I'm a god gamer.
Yeah.
When I win, right?
Oh,
Listen,
God.
100% No More Heroes, 100% Blasphemous 2, 100% Elden Ring and all the From Software games. Those are difficult games. This is by far the most difficult. And I was doom scrolling and saw somebody in front of the Absolute Radiance practice statue. And I was like, oh my god, it's over. I have a way to practice the final boss so that when I get there, I could just do it. So, because it's 40 bosses, and I had been practicing boss 38 and 39 over and over and over again to the point where I can complete them no hit 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I rerun it.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I get to 38 and 39, I breeze past them and go to 40. And then die immediately to 40 because I don't know how to fucking fight him.
And it's worth noting for the uninitiated, the Hollowness Pantheon 5 is a 40 boss gauntlet. You can have to beat without dying.
40 bosses back
in a row.
to back to back with after every 10 they give you a rest. They give you a spa which reses your soul and your health.
Yeah.
And the final 10 are crazy bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time I thought I could only practice the last boss at the end of that gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
But now I learned that's not true. So
wait, so what
Daddy's home.
What was different? Because you were when you were talking when you were talking to me about this yesterday, you said you couldn't practice the last one. So what
I was so sure you couldn't. What changed is I was doom scrolling and saw that somebody did.
So there was a way you just didn't know, or
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There's a way I just didn't know, and it goes back to what we were talking about last week. That I don't feel the urge to look things up.
Yeah.
I don't feel the urge to just go on and be like, how do I practice Radiance to beat it? I don't know. If it comes naturally to me, I'll be like, oh, okay. So there is a way.
Yeah.
I see.
That reminds me.
I feel. Yeah, go ahead.
No, when you were first playing Expedition 33 and you didn't know about the, what do you call it?
Dude, yes, that was pre.
Because like I
Was
don't
it Chromas? Or what did you not know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoilers for mild spoilers for Expedition here.
Well, it's just the little abilities you can slot in, right? And I don't necessarily go out looking for stuff. I usually don't watch guides, but sometimes you'll see like, oh, like 5 essential tips for your players.
Yeah,
if
it
they're
shows
playing
up on your social
Expedition
media. You
3.
said the
Make sure you
name
do
too close to your
this,
phone.
you know?
Yeah, and now TikTok's
Yes.
giving you videos.
So it's like I knew like, okay, yeah, when I get there, I'll make sure to do it. But Glenn, of course, doesn't look things up, and
Yeah.
I'll let you take it from there. But
Yeah, so that was pre-podcast, but essentially I didn't know that you can have more than 3 Pictos, right? I learned about leveling up Pictos, and I thought, oh, okay, you can only level up 3 Pictos at one time. And so I was like, okay, so I select my 3 Pictos for everybody. I was like, all right, that's good for her, that's good for her, that's good for him, that's good for him. And I thought I was limited to 3 per character. And then I get to Act 3, where you get the painted power Pictos, which allows you to break the 9999 cap.
Yeah, damage cap
I
remover.
thought that could only work for one person, so I put it on Mael with the roulette and with the counter damage plus 30% or whatever.
That's how I run
And
my
I
L too.
And I
Billion
beat
damage
the
build.
entire endless tower like that. Okay, that's my claim to fame. I didn't beat Simon like that, admittedly, but I beat the endless tower like that.
Yeah.
Everything was parrying until it was Mael's turn and doing that with Mael.
Dude, some of those gauntlets
So-
are ruthless too.
Yeah, and it wasn't until I literally looked up, like, I ended up seeing best farming spot. And then the fight starts, and everybody get these, like, on-start Pictos chiming off,
You
like,
get like
ding, ding,
15.
ding, ding. I was like,
yeah.
what the hell is that? And I was losing my mind, and that was after, like, 35 attempts at Simon. And so, like, my second attempt after that was Simon. I wiped the floor with him. It was like going from expert mode to assisted mode immediately, and being
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, so now I get to do damage. Now I just get to do damage. But yes, Pantheon of Hollowness, bro. I'm going to play it for my girlfriend after the podcast, and I will not be surprised if she sees a fucking winner. So yeah,
I'll be
leave it
rooting
at
for
that.
you. Well, I'll do
Pantheon of Hollowness.
a quick pivot into our final topic for the podcast, because speaking of boss gauntlets, I beat Dench Attack. I would give that game at least a strong 9 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10. I really loved it. I will not talk about direct spoilers. I may talk about boss mechanics and stuff a little bit here to talk about it. I will not talk about direct level spoilers and designs, because the last few levels are awesome. But I finished Dench Attack, which for the uninitiated is a game where you skateboard trains. I loved every second of that game. The music is so good. The art style is so unique and inspired by like Jet Set Radio and all these other amazing games. But that final section, so the final section, I'm forgetting the name of it now, but it's the final region of Japan, which is the snowier section. Maybe you could help me out, Mina. The north of Japan. Hokkaido, yes.
Is it Hokkaido?
Hokkaido is the final section. The way that game trains you in every other section of the game to like learn new mechanics, you're learning new mechanics right till the end. And then final level, it's like, boom, use everything you've had. And it made me think of it when you were talking about it, Glenn, talking about the Hollowness Gauntlet. But without getting into story spoilers and stuff, most of the levels in Dench Attack are like 2 to 3 minutes. They like follow a song. The final level of Dench Attack is like 15 and a half, I think. It is a super long level, and it is essentially a boss gauntlet. The final boss is essentially a gauntlet of everything you have done up until that point. And it's like, hey, use everything. Here it is. We're going to throw everything at you at once for a marathon run. Can you do it? Right? And the satisfaction you get from finishing that game and proving you have mastered every mechanic it's taught you throughout the whole game, incredible.
Preach.
Incredible. And it makes that final level feel like a victory lap when you really like nail it. There's so many levels that are great references to other things. There's a boss fight that's essentially a Guitar Hero battle, which is super sick. There's literally like it turns it turns the train tracks into like fret notes, and you have to like jump and like do a rhythm game. So fucking sick. There's a couple that are like duels. There's obviously the final one is a boss gauntlet. It's a boss gauntlet race, I'll say too, which is really sick. So you're refighting bosses and also racing at the same time, which was really cool. It took me a long time to get the 100% on that level. That level low key kept me from the 100% of that game for a hot minute, because doing that without crashing and also keeping a high enough combo to get the gold score was fucking ruthless. And you can't slow down either if you want the gold medal for time too. So it was like, that shit took a while. But
yeah,
I couldn't recommend that game enough. If you like fast-paced kind of racers, if you've ever enjoyed a Sonic the Hedgehog game or Jet Set Radio, or even if you love like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, anything like that, it is a must-buy, I think. I think it'll be a Game of the Year nominee, probably, or at the very least get some nods at the awards. It's got a good story that's very simple, but is perfect for what it needs, you know? And I found that the sum of all the parts created something greater than I think even what they'd intended, which was just the perfect vibes game. It really is, I think, going to be up there with like Jet Set Radio as those perfect, like, sit down and just vibe for a few hours game, right? Do combos. Because you can beat the whole game, like, never doing a trick. Except for, like, the trick park levels. There are trick park levels where you have to prove you can do combos. But there's only a handful of those. You could just sit there and just avoid boss attacks and stuff and beat the game. But that's not what the game wants you to do, you know?
Right.
It's a game that you could interact with very little and be like, oh, that was kind of fun and pretty looking. But it demands you to rise to the challenge, to try and play stylishly, similar to something like Devil May Cry, where the game is rewarding you with like a combo meter for being like, no, do this cool. Don't just complete the level, do it with style, and do it with your own style through like customizing the trains, and the different trains give you different ways to play. You know, like there's one train that gives you extra points when you land a manual, but you have to time it perfectly when you land on the train track, or else it won't land the manual and you'll lose your combo. Stuff like that is just so sick to me. I mean, it gives you that freedom and that ability to express yourself through gameplay. It does that like really, really well. And on top of that, it's just cool as fuck. That's my final review point. Cool as fuck. Really liked it. Strongly recommend, especially for the price point in the current market of games. For like $20, that's an astonishing amount of content you could get through, and easily very replayable. So, big double thumbs up from my loved Dench Attack.
I had a quick question though.
Oh, go ahead.
And this goes off of a story that Mark has from podcast of Final Boss making him parry.
Oh.
Was there anything you didn't do in the other quests that you basically had to learn in that boss gauntlet of the final quest?
Ooh, that's a great question, and yes. There's a mechanic you don't have to interact with as much. So, they teach you a mechanic after like the halfway point, which is drifting, where you derail the back of your train and you attach it to a track next to it, and you gain points for doing that, and you won't lose a combo if you drift. You can essentially lock the train into place with that, so it never demands perfection in the drifting. You can just do it and then slide through the gate, because you have to drift through certain gates so you won't break them. There's multiple points in that final boss where it demands instant drifts and switch out. And that's what I would really say the game does well, is when you replay the levels a lot of the time, you memorize the pattern. You're like, all right, this boss is going to slam this track, so just sit on the third one and just do my little combos so I don't lose points. That's fine. They throw everything at you, and it's continuous in that final boss, I should say. It's not like it does a section where it's like, all right, this is the drifting section. All right, this is the backflip or like air jump section. It's like continuously all of that. And they force you to learn a new mechanic during the final boss fight, which is like a speed boost mechanic where you like honk the horn when you're in these like little like rings and it shoots you extra fast. And it demands you do all of that with like little to no like time to adjust, you know? And the level being so long, you can't really memorize it very well. You will forget something. So I thought that was an amazing way of it demanding, maybe not like a specific mechanic, but demanding you to truly understand it. Because you could kind of fake it till you make it in some sections with the drifting and stuff, where you could just be like, oh, I can kind of just preemptively assume I need this here and then, you know, not really use it how I think they intended. But that last boss fight is a skill check, definitely. And it should be. It feels really satisfying, especially for the story point that it gets at, I think that I can say this without it being a big spoiler, but she says at the start of the game she wants to race the fastest train in Japan, right? So towards the end, you do that. That's what this is. It's a race against the fastest train in Japan. That thing is fast as fuck. And
I believe that.
It wants you to feel like you're going 1,000,000 miles per hour. And the game does a really good job of that. And as you speed up through this race because you're trying to catch this train, you get less and less reaction time between what you have to do. And by the time you do reach the end of that boss level, you truly feel like you're going at the speed of light almost, essentially. It's sick. It's so sick. I won't comment further than that. But other than saying they do a really good job, similar to how I talked about, I think this is a good way to wrap everything up. Similar to how we talked with Mina about God of War with scale. God of War makes you feel scale. Like it feels big when you fight the dragon. That last level of Dench attack, you feel the speed. You're like, I'm fucking fast. And it feels really good to be like doing those tricks, like hitting a perfect 360 kickflip into a manual while going like 1,000 miles per hour across like Tokyo is like the sickest shit ever. It's so sick. Yeah. So nothing but praise for that game. I highly recommend it to everybody who's listening or sees this video or any members of the podcast. Very, very good.
Outstanding. That one's
Another
going
to the roster.
The backlog, yeah.
Another to the roster. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up there. That was a good podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Awesome.
So, love all of our live viewers. Love all of our VOD viewers as well.
Yeah. Now we're going to go watch The Thing.
Yeah, we're going to go have a movie night. So thank you all so much. Glenn, Godspeed with Hollow Nest. Viewers, Godspeed with whatever games you're beating. And we will talk to you all next week on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.